Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Wave Italy Apex Racing League Prototype Championship for its third season here at Road America. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Mark Bobner, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Yes, Austin, welcome. We are live for this third race of the season, and then we are at one of the cathedrals of world motorsport in Road America. Certainly a super challenging track. And of course a place that knows as its fair share of history when it comes to sports car racing. We are at the third round of the season, as we were saying, so let's have a quick look at the championship standings in the three classes. LMP1, Alexander Spets and Lennart Raart. Of course, Spets won the first race, Lennart won the second, but Lennart Raart, they basically traded good finishing position, and with Lennart, if I'm not mistaken, missing round 1 and having a good result winning round 2. And then of course the other classes that we can see, these two classes, the LMP2 Pro and the LMP2 AM, they both had repeat winners. So Owen Carroll, Michael Mariani, Francesco Panetta, the top 3 in this class. And in the prototype, 2 amateurs, Hans Blackworth with back-to-back victories in front of Thomas Sorensen and Morten Kofoed. So this is your top 3 in the standings. Of course, you can find more on apexracingleague.com. Maybe even you want to join the championship, you can, because this is great action and great racing all along. So Austin, you know a lot about this place, and what can you say to the viewers about the secrets of Road America?
Road America is one long, it's a long track. It's a very tight track. The opening laps are going to be very tricky here. especially if you get into a big train, and traffic's going to be a big issue for these LMP1 cars. Getting through the LMP2 traffic, you know, because it's a classic America track. The track width stays nearly the same throughout the entire place, so you can fit cars too wide around here, but there's times in a place where you don't want to be too wide. With these prototype cars, some of the nuances of Road America will not be that much of a challenge. You know, the kink on the long straight, heading into Canada corner. This kink, everything right here is all flat out. You know, you might have to do a little bit of lift in the higher bout of cars as we were riding on board of the Porsche LMP1 across the final corner and then up the hill. But yeah, it's going to be a, for our LMP1s, it's going to be a boost fest. And for the LMP2s, it's going to be a hard-fought battle throughout the race and a lot of traffic management and hoping, you know, you don't get caught at a wrong time. The carousel is going to be a lot of fun for all of these drivers, so it's a very fun track to drive. Sometimes in a race, it can get a little bit hectic on a rolling start, heading into that fast turn 1, so hopefully everybody is on top of that, doesn't have an incident for the first few corners.
One of those tracks, this one, Austin, together with Le Mans, together with the Nordschleife, where you really, when you are driving in the slower class, you really need to keep an eye on when the fast class cars are approaching you and pitting, because this quite possibly mean the difference between finishing the race or running out of fuel midway through the final lap. And we know, of course, also that the entire final sector is uphill, so if you run out of fuel there, you are in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, you're going to be on a roller coaster ride all the way back down to Canada corner, and it's not the good roller coaster. But I believe everybody here is going to be patient heading into the pit lane. I'm sure if you saw some of the iRacing Not Top 10s, there have been a few moments of cars heading into the pit lane, one of them running out of fuel, then everything just going all the way wrong in this direction. If you ride through the final sector on board of Alexander Spetz in that Audi LMP1 car, that thing just flies through there. These LMP1 cars are just so beautiful to look at, especially this one.
Golden color for the Protocharge Sim Sports guys. The gold team, they also have a black team. But Dingla Schneider, regional pole sitter, how long is that Consolas with Lennart coming home? 42.2. That's the new pole position in LMP1. Castellani and Panetta leading the way in LMP2 Pro. Let's see the LMP2 AMS as Balog goes into second. It's Iaconetti, so a lot of very quick Italian drivers. And then Jack Guyler, who had a very good showing in qualifying last week at Monza in his debut round. Unfortunately, his race lasted a few hundred meters, so I'm sure he has been you know, waiting all week long to get his quote-unquote revenge and have a good race. We know that worked beautifully for Temu Milikangas. We know him from IGP Fan. There is. He had a good qualifying in Watkins Glen, crashed on the start-finish line because there was a stopped LMP1 in the middle of the road and had to retire basically. But then in the second round of the season, he had a fantastic race in Monza. So, you know, hopefully everything goes well for the... We know that the race start here can be tricky. You were saying it earlier. So narrow, uphill, somebody hits the wall or spins, collects the other cars, and all hell breaks loose, basically.
Yeah, if any subscriber to Apex Racing TV or fan of Apex Racing TV watched the Ray eSports inaugural round at Road America in the debut of the RE2 race, you would know of what happened there on lap 1. To me, getting collected by, I think, 7 cars hit me.
Alexander Spetz coming home.
Yeah.
Pole position, but let's see Lennart Rart, who's following him close behind. He's having a fantastic lap.
3 sectors, purple, improves on the last sector, comes across the line. Rart, though, goes up to provisional pole by half a second, little more. Also jumping Spetz as well. Pizzo jumped up there to 6th. Bullock jumps up there to 4th place as Panetta goes to provisional front row as Mariani new provisional pole time. Just farthest that lead in LMP2 Pro. Guyler, 150.9. Good gap to everybody else in LMP2 AM.
Yeah, ready for the final few drivers. Here is Giuseppe Mugliad for 3D Rap Squadra Corse, another team we are very very familiar with from IGP Fan, coming around the start finish line. Yeah, let's see.
Validated the first lap. Let's see what the LMP2 Pro can do. Let's cross the line. Knocks it into 7th.
So remember, the LMP2 drivers are mixed when you get the gridding moment, so everyone will be basically mixed, but they will be separated, everyone from the LMP1. There will be a separate start, and as per usual, remember, we have a starting zone that drivers need to respect. We have a few drivers that are going to be saddled with a pit lane start. Sorry, a qualifying ban, not a pit lane start, my apologies. They are Andy Tysers, Daniel Zivisabo, Lorenzo Zoffoli, Maxim Suevski, and Roy Mas. If memory serves me right, these are all drivers that are in the LMP2 category. And whilst we are having the final few moments in qualifying, with almost everyone having set a fast time, let me tell you, a massive thanks to our sponsor for tonight's event and the championship at large. Of course, it's Wave Italy, whose mission is to offer the best experience in driving simulation to an ever broader audience, with the aim of conveying the thrill of a real race to passionate and professionals of esport and sim racing. They offer extremely high-performing and realistic devices, also suitable for corporate or private events. An unforgettable, immersive driving experience. Wave Italy provided the overall winner of LMP1, the choice of their high-end Wave Impetus Simula or Wave Impetus Monza Sim pedals in a color of their choice. Whilst the overall winner of the LMP2 standings gets half a day of professional coaching at the Wave Italy Professional Training Center in Verona in northeastern Italy. Beautiful town. You should absolutely go there and visit, even if it's not because you win the prize. To get 5% off any product at waveitaly.com, use the code APEXRACING5, that's APEXRACING5 at the end, 5 as the number, at checkout.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, it is a very beautiful place. You know, when I'm heading over to Europe sometime in the future, I believe. So hopefully next year, maybe the year after that. It almost seems to keep getting pushed back. Thank you, life. I'm definitely going to head over there and you know, enjoy that area. You know, I might need your, I might need your tourism.
I'll be your chaperone. Don't worry.
Good. I don't trust myself on my own.
Here comes Riccardo Geroli for SRC Mivano Junior. So many Italian teams and names in this championship. Very quick. Home. Yeah, they are all very quick drivers. So you know, this is why this field, I think, is so competitive. He gets his car into position number 5. Let's see if Labati is on a good lap, can improve as well. In LMP1, no, he doesn't, but also a quick driver, Iaconetti, who snatches pole at the very last second in LMP2 Amateur. Mariani, is he improving? Maybe, but his teammate Panetta can peep him at pole position. No, he can't. 1/10.5, almost the gap there. Let's see if Muya can also get... Ooh, that was a bit wide on the entrance there. He clipped the grass, Austin.
Little bit dancing with the devil right there. Unfortunately, too late to go on. And that will be qualifying for our drivers. Taking the LMP1 Pro, Leonhard Rott starts up on pole position, followed by Ryan Littlemore, Alex Spetz, and Jan Korbs in 4th place. They're followed by Nicholas Schneider, Simon Caltaraz, and Sazbaz Balog in 7th. Carlo Labiti and Danielle Pizzo, followed by Ollie Cole and James Armstrong at the back of the LMP1 grid. And now for the LMP2s with Marco.
Yes, Michael Mariani snatches pole in the LMP2 Pro field. He beats his teammate Panetta, Owen Carroll, Lorenzo Castellani, Riccardo Geroli, Temu Milikangas, James Parker, Julius Brown, Giuseppe Muia. Then we have the LMP2 AM, Paul Sitter, Gerardo Iaconetti in front of Jack Guyler. Couple of pros behind them, Andrea Pettanella and Anders Lillejordet. They are 23rd and 24th respectively. Then we have a bit of amateurs behind them, Hans Blackwert, Thomas Sorensen, the pro Omar Robledo, Martin Teilgård is in 28th in front of Martin Köfed and Michael Youngblood. Sasha Lowe is in 31st in front of our own Andy Thompson. There's a few pros, including Marian Ansel and the guys that couldn't set because of a ban the quali time. So Daniel Zivisabo, Lorenzo Zoffoli, Roy Mass, and Andy Tyser. A short pace lap. Let me commend the admins for this incredible decision. Those guys are very smart.
Yeah, those admins, they know what they're doing over there. And yeah, short pace lap. Now, in some situations, this short pace lap can cause a little bit of issues with stacking. Because coming around the corner, you know, it's a corner, it's kind of a tight turn, and, you know, are staying side by side. So the front cars can build a little bit of a gap, and then everyone can stack up heading up into the pit lane and into the starting zone. So hopefully everybody keeps their wits about them as our pace truck is, I love how they're using the truck too, is about to get underway.
Yeah, I complained last week about the lack of a pace track that has been addressed for this week. So the admins really listen to the drivers, the commentators. It's incredible how good these admins are.
It's like we know who they are.
Do we?
I believe so. Well, pace truck is short pace lap, but coming up the hill, it's time to go. Wait for it. Green, green, green here at Road America. The LP1 cars get underway and already going too wide in the background. There's some overtaking happening behind him as the front cars are trying to dodge that blinker right there. That's Ryan Littlemore sitting there third as Spets lead off right there as the LP2 field is underway.
Yes, waiting for the starting zone, ignoring poor Barney, who's waving his flag to no one. And
three wide already. Look, that second row almost went three wide immediately. You saw Panetta going down to the inside and just defending right there, heading into turn one. Everything's looking good. And as soon as I said that, we got chaos in the background of the LP2 field, and that's Pizzo upside down in turn three. And we got about 3 cars in the LP2s around.
Daniele Pizzo is out. Yeah, to go back to the pits, I would imagine. Here comes Mariani. And the rest, there is someone who's trying to floor the gas. Oh, there is. It's James Armstrong in a very precarious position. Lennart Hart then in front of Spets, who gained 1 place over Ryan Littlemore, as we have some trouble still down there at turn, I don't know, 5, 3, 2?
I call it turn 3. I know Road America calls it turn 5, and crazy people call it turn 4.
It's important we have an agreement, so if you call it turn 5, I will call it turn 5.
Yeah, I call it turn 3.
Turn 3, okay, perfect.
Those kinks are not turns. I'm American, and I don't agree with that.
And that's the first lap in the books. Simon Cowdarts goes into Canada.
Canada. Into the tires right there. He's hit the wall. And, you know, it's lost to the entire front structure of that car, so it's going to be losing a lot of time. And it's going to be heading into the pit lane, but, yeah, he's towed out immediately. He tried turning, and the car just didn't want to go. We look at our race leaders. They're starting to separate from each other, as here is our LMP2 race leaders. They're still in that little pack of theirs. The boost harvesting and deployment is going to be very important for the LMP1 cars. But what's really going to decide this race is always traffic management.
Yes, it helps that, of course, the top 5 in the LMP1 are all teammates, so they can coordinate with each other. We saw that last week. The first non-Procharge Sims for Durukanor car is Carlo Abati. You see him here. He had a quite the unlucky race in both opening rounds of the season, so he's looking to get a bit of points under his belt. in this race here. He's in front of Niklas Schneider of Schneider Motorsport and Olli Kohl of IPM Gold. As Riccardo Geroli fighting with Giuseppe Muia and Julius Brown. A big wreck.
Well, he kind of pushed Braun onto the outside of the track right there. Braun had grass on his outside, and you know, he didn't leave the space for the other car. There was a little bit of netcode in there. Let's take an instant replay of what happened here. Julius Braun onto the inside, and watch this exit. Braun goes to the exit of the track, and yeah, didn't leave space for the car on his outside to get back on track. He had a position, and you know, car on the outside turned into him. You know, you could make arguments both ways. I'm on the racing track, you got pushed off, you have to lift off the way, and then the other guy can just point to the grass. And then said you could have moved over, you already had the space. The best part is that, just give it to the stewards and let them take care of the arguing. But, you know, there are both ways to go for that, and I'm trying to be as in the middle as possible.
On board with Owen Carroll. In front of him you see Michael Mariani, leader in the class. Mariani with the fastest lap of the race in the LMP2 Pro field, followed by Panetta Castellani and Teemu Milikangas behind him. Then we have the leader of the LMP2 Jack Guyler. Something happened to our pole.
We had a car coming out of a pit lane.
And that was also, we have problem for the pole sitter in LMP2 Pro. LMP2, I'm sorry, Gerardo Iaconetti. So let's try and see what happened to him.
I believe he might have got a little bit wide heading into turn 1 and was collected up in the instant.
Oh dear. How did we miss this?
Well, I did mention that there was a lot of incidents happening in the back. And then we snapped cut to a LMP1 car at the front and just getting absolutely obliterated. But Gerardo getting caught up upside down and around and inside out. Kind of felt like he took a ride not on board of an LMP2 car, but a ride on top of a washing machine.
Alexander Spetz
around the outside for the lead.
Oof. Great pass. So gold, orange and black, the three divisions of Protocharge, first, second and third right now. Jan Korbs, of course, in the black team, Spetz in the gold and Rart in the orange.
Now, are each of these teams required to run a specific car, or are they running what their primary car is? Because, you know, I see the gold team running the Audis and the black team running the Audis, but the bronze team, I think, is running the Porsches.
Now, see, you see, there's an orange Porsche and an orange Audi.
So no.
So no.
Now, this is all driver preference. I just say, you know, the Audi is statistically faster than the Porsche on average. But the Porsche does have some advantages than the Audi, like being where the steering wheel is supposed to be on the left-hand side.
That is the advantage. The advantage was that the Porsche could recharge the batteries even when it's not braking.
And that too.
Yeah, I mean
I buy my cars on steering wheel, okay?
okay. Fair enough.
I'm gonna get yelled at for that, and I don't care.
We are in the middle of the LMP2 pack, where the leaders of the LMP2 AM are dealing with the back markers of LMP2 Pro. As we are getting ready, even in a long lap like this, to get the first proper lapping action. As we are, well, first of all, let's get the lap counter on. Better, yeah, lap number 5.
And yeah, you know, we're doing about 1 minute 40, 1 minute 41 second times for our race LMP1 cars, and then our LMP2 cars are doing an average. I'm gonna go with our leader, 150 to about 153. That's
awesome.
the
we have the graphic.
of the LMP2s.
There we go.
Look at that. those are the race leaders. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you get the idea, but
yes,
you can see also those 40 degrees track temperature there. It's quite hot. We are around 100 Fahrenheit. So, I mean, of course, they don't change tires, because these tires in real life can do multiple stints, but of course you need to manage them. And 100 degrees Fahrenheit, more or less 40 Celsius, it's one of those temperatures that you really don't want to have when you know you can't change tires, even in a race like this, no? With these cars.
Yeah, you don't want to, in the LMP2s, you don't want to lock up the tires, you don't want to kick out the back end, and you really want to treat those tires with respect, because, you know, the LMP1 cars, you know, with these tires, you don't want to push them over the edge, and you'll lose a lot of time, but it's going to be very difficult for our LMP2 drivers to really keep the car in control underneath a lot of stress, especially right here heading into turn 3. Slowest corner on the course right here, and heading into Corvette, you know, that turn's very risky. As here is the Foley looking up onto the inside, sends it down there, late break, outbreaks them, gets his nose onto the inside, easy overtakes. The Foley up in a 10th.
And there's Zivizabu, started from the back of the grid, and Austin is already in 9th place in his class, and looking to gain more spots if possible.
Yeah, up 15 spots overall for Zivizabu. Started all the way in the back after having a little bit slap in the wrist, but you see him overcorrecting his car right there as Zavoli, who also started on the back of Daniel. Both of them are going to be having a bit of a fight with each other, and I think Daniel might have a little bit of action coming off heading into Canada corner, because down to the inside, Zavoli looks down to the inside. That's the LP2 Pro, LP2 Pro second place driver of Hans
Blackwell. And something happened to Owen Carroll because Michael Mariani jumped him. So Michael Mariani back in the lead of his class.
Also, Hans is LP2 AM driver, not Pro. My bad.
No worries, it can be confusing, you know?
A lot of drivers here.
Many, that's the beauty, you know. Remember season 2, we had a little, season 1 was fantastic, season 2 was great, but we had a little bit of a downturn in entries. But this season 3, man, the floodgates have opened. There is especially what makes me very happy, a very big LMP1 field, as we have a crash from Martin Tailgord as he spins and rejoins in front of our leaders, who are absolutely loving this right now. Oh, these are the leaders.
Yeah, here are our leaders, and you know, that is in front of them. But our leaders right now, they're getting into that traffic. They passed the 219 Thomas Swordson right there. And Thomas Swordson, he's in every ARL league. Everywhere I'm entered, everywhere I commentate on, Thomas Swordson is there. And, you know, he's going for that workhorse reward. But here comes the big traffic heading into Corvette right now. You know, the LP1 cars have hit the train, get past the 261 Ticehurst. Here they get past Hensel. This is where the traffic's really going to decide this race for these pros. The early parts getting onto the 2-1. Oh, the 2-1-0 holds him off right there, and that's Telegard proud to get told off right there. He had an LP1 on his inside. Felt like he got squeezed, but you know, you don't have to give these guys space. Spets, though, rocketing past him, getting all up onto that boost, very tight into the kink. And just look how much space he's given him to second place. Second place, Rart. He's still got a lot of cars, and his teammates just carved through there like a hot knife through butter right there.
Is that a fox or a kangaroo?
Me loving foxes, I want to say fox, but it looks more like a kangaroo. But the tail's a little bit more extended. We're going to need to add autonomy of fox.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that is a dive bomb once again into the 2-1-0. Car.
Oh, trouble for the
LP1. Multiple cars involved. LP1, Corbs and Cole headed into the pits. And, you know who was at the start of that again? The 2-1-0 again. And so this is a move on teammates right here. They're all stuck behind that LP2 car. And, oh, no. Bullock wanted to get onto... wanted to get out of the way because the 2-1-0 was just staying on the outside of the track right there. And, you know, he turned right, but there were two other cars to his right and a 3-car incident behind traffic. And guess what? That's no one's fault right there.
And young Corbs, Austin, one of the championship contenders, having to basically dodge into pit road, get the fast repair, get the fuel in, and but this is very early, especially here at Road America. This is very, very early. I would be shocked if he makes it to the end.
Yeah, there's no way he can make it to the end right here unless he kicks it into fuel saving mode and trots around and lasts for the entire time. But you know, at the start of the race, he's not going to spend a lot of time filling up his car with fuel, so it's not going to lose him a big amount of time. Well, it is going to. It lost him 47 seconds overall. But Log and Cole, you know, both of them, they're spending multiple minutes. They're spending minutes in there. Ollie Cole just got out of the pit box, and you know, takes 6th place as Balog. You know, I think Balog had the biggest hit out of all of them. You know, he spun around backwards, and he drove backwards on the track to get into the pit lane, actually. So they're actually getting overtaken by the LMP2s as this is the BD. The Bati on Littlemore. They're going to go side by side. And nailed it. That Audi certainly is very fast down the straights.
Yes, Labati gets the job done. So Littlemore down to 4th, Curbs in 5th. But you were saying several seconds behind, and Ollie Cole even more behind, almost a lap down, basically, from the leaders. And behind him we have the 2 LMP2 Pro cars in Mariani and Carroll, basically pulling away from the rest of the LMP2 Pro field. Whilst in first position is Jack Guyler, and he has now 18 seconds over the closest LMP2 car. So Guyler in a very good position.
Yeah, Guyler, he was ahead of all that chaos on the front straight right there. And, you know, he kind of avoided most of the stuff that slowed down his competition. But also when the LP2s came in for the first time, he didn't really put up that much of a fight. And he wasn't in a certain train. So he was able to, you know, escape, you know, just outpace everybody and get into a great spot. But yeah, Guyler 17 seconds ahead of Moss behind him. As this is Mariano, our LP2 leader. Let's right on board Owen Carroll right behind him in 2nd place.
Let's try and enjoy a lap. Hopefully nothing else happens around the racetrack. And we might have something happen here. Carroll really getting close to the back end of the leading car, but not pushing the issue just yet. I mean, it's very, very early, and if you can save a bit of fuel, that can absolutely help you. If you can save fuel and stay close to your rival for the race win, Austin, that's more power to you, no?
Absolutely. Save fuel, you know, wait for that right opportunity. You can save a lot of fuel at this track, you know, get right behind the race leader or the leader of your class, if possible, and just stay in their draft. Lift off, lift and coast, don't have to be as aggressive. You just let them drive their own race and let them carry you on. And when they go into the pits, since we're not changing tires here, gun it. You gun it, you're going to have at least one more lap of fuel, maybe some more, depending on when the race leader is. Or you're just going to go at the same time with them, and then, you know, because it saves more fuel, it's going to be a shorter pit stop fuel-wise for you, and beat them in the pit stop, but then you're going to have to beat them out on track as well. You know, strategies with fuel are always very fun to watch here.
They absolutely are, Austin, and there's been a very nice lap from Carroll, keeping the gap to Mariani and keeping him close. He doesn't want to do anything more than this at the moment. No lap traffic to deal with or be lapped by. Of course, when we go to the end of the race, we'll have the moments where we have LMP1s lapping LMP2s and LMP2s pros lapping LMP2 AMs. So that's when it gets really chaotic. Right now we have a few out of position LMP1s who are not getting blue flags. So, for example, here, Niklas Schneider, this is the most dangerous position of them all, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is the most dangerous one because, you know, it's the final corner. You want to get in and go. We saw that a few laps ago with the LP1s trying to pass the LP2s right there. Specifically the 210 car, which I just feel for. I feel for them. Not that I run that number religiously, but Telegard's been... I think he's been the one with the most LP1s just staring at him, just like, come on, man. Both times, everyone sent it in on him, and, you know, it was a big send by everyone, and, you know, I'm slightly biased here because, you know, the number that I love.
Oh,
and down the inside, Delegard! Oh, my goodness. Getting risky right there by the Viking.
And in front of it, that was Sasha Lowe. Behind him, we have Marian Hensel. These three drivers very close to each other. They also have Petenella and Sorensen very close. And then there's an LMP2 car that's trying to go past them. That should be Jan Korps. Yes, sorry, LMP1 car. Jan Korps, there he is.
Oh, big lockup by a car ahead of him. Oh, Martin had a lockup right there, and he falls back behind. As this is Owen Carroll in the fight for the LP2 Pro lead, as we have a replay for Morten Kofod.
Oh, we have a problem for Sasha, I think.
Lock up, spin. That's turn 3.
This was the battle
Sasha
we were watching, Austin.
That is a big train. That is a massive train. And look, there's an Audi in the middle of there. Goes onto the left-hand side, gets past the 210. 210. 210 got into the back pan. Sasha Lowe, I think they saw the LP1, and oh no, and oh my gosh, Timu getting airborne.
Yeah, so it's all happening now. And again, it's these LMP1s who don't have the blue flags. So when you're driving the LMP2, you don't expect it, and then you see all of a sudden this massively faster car, maybe boosting. So it's a tough situation for all parties involved. Don't get me wrong.
It really is. It's it really is that situation. You know, everyone's pulling away. You know, you're boosting. You're seeing that red mist, literally, because you know the boost is red, and you know they're just trying to get past everybody else, and they don't want to be held up in the corners because they're on average from the slowest qualifying LP1 time to the fastest LP2 time. They're 9 seconds faster than them. So, you know, the more time you're stuck back there, you're going to be losing a lot more time in these corners. And Road America, the actual corners are, you know, 1, 2, 1 second. You got 9 real opportunities, so you're a second faster in each corner than the LP2s. Yeah, you do have 9 braking zones.
Niklas Schneider trying to get past the leading duo in LMP2 Pro. First Owen Carroll, and then you can see him there at the front. Michael Mariani goes past Carroll, and now his next target will be Mariani. And you can see the bit of a speed difference.
Yeah, looks like a late night drive on a Texas highway when you know you get to those drivers who just love souping up their engines and taking them out for spin at like 3 in the morning. Down the inside, Giuseppe, 5th place, made that move work. As Daniel Cindy Salzbo trying to hold it around the outside of the LP2 Pro, and he's actually done it. But he's got the 2 LP2 drivers.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Cindy Salzbo. That was a little spicy right there.
Yeah, and Mas got back into the position. He lost for a second, and you know, you are fighting hard. We also have another battle there at the front between Muya and Milikanga, still going at it, the 2 drivers. One from 3D Rap and the other for Volante Racing. We have Tiago Martoni in the chat. We say hello to him and everyone watching. Of course, teammate with Temu in the IGP Fan Championship. And here comes Kaularts out of out of position, fighting for position with these guys.
Yeah, fighting air quotes for position. It's not much of a fight, as you know, he's being well behaved in there. He's already had an incident, so you know, slowly but surely making his way through the grid, and then you know, hoping something happens up at front. And you know, it's so easy for something to happen. Speaking of something happening, Timu Got a good view of Giuseppe getting a little bit wide heading into Canada corner right there and having a little bit of a moment. Speaking of a moment, we saw Timu earlier getting airborne for that final sector.
Can we get a replay of that? Of course we can.
It's all you.
Yeah, here we go, coming out of the left-hander. Goes a bit wide to let the LMP1 go past, and yeah, lifts to the... He might have some underside damage. Thankfully for him, he has a fast repair which he can use, because we know these cars are a bit sensitive to that. Sometimes even a curb strike can ruin your evening. So, well, at the very least, he can get some repairs as we have troubles for Hans Blackworth, one of the quickest drivers in LMP2 Pro.
Slow down a lot. He might have an issue. You know, I wouldn't expect him to have a slowdown, but he might have some damage-wise. But yeah. I don't see anything wrong with the car.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a floor issue. Or if he was side-checked pretty hard, he could have a little bit of a fuel leak going on, which is a thing. Still.
It is, absolutely. Spets is pulling away from the rest of the competition now, 11.5 seconds. Now, in the previous weeks we have seen the LMP1 field split in half. Some drivers were pitting immediately after like the 20-minute mark, and others were pitting later. With the way this track is shaped, that could be risky. That's why we are not seeing it, even though we had those 2 or 3 drivers who had to go to the pits, you know, let's say by accident earlier in the race.
Yes. And, you know, if you're a Hans Blockhart fan, he was already in the pits earlier in this race for a issue. So this is the second time into the pit lane. And I feel like this might be more than just a fast repair stop. Let's just go through the field, see what we can see. On board a little more in that Porsche LP1 car, following Labati as they head into the beautiful carousel. See the Audi out of him, getting onto the tapping the brakes just slightly, keep that car well behaved through there. And you know, the Porsche, all you really have to do is just lift as they're coming up onto the 2 car. Just look at the run by Littlemore, great run, looking up on the inside, hits onto the brakes early and just tries to scare Labati. Labati's not falling for it. They were all focused on that LP2 car. They go through Canada through these final corners. But Ryan Littlemore of that Protocharged Sim Sports Runicar Orange. I believe that is a kangaroo, by the way.
Marian Ansel has got in a bit of trouble. Oh, braking a bit too late, huh?
Lock up too much, too late.
Oh,
lock up into the wall, and yeah, that's always the worst feeling. As this is Schneider and Callarts heading into the pits. You know, they were involved in incidents earlier on in the race. They're both a lap down, and they're heading into the pit lane again.
Yes, they are. Jack Guyler
before halfway
is enjoying a nice drive at the front. Also, Temu is in
ahead of his, you know, second place for him. Timo heads into the pit lane, you know, 4 minutes before halfway. You know, most of the drivers would go for aim for that halfway moment, but you know, this might be the undercut opportunity for some of these guys. Head into the pits, you know, just take fuel, and you know, hopefully you get released into some open air in case everyone behind you is in a big train. This is kind of what you want to do. You know, don't get let onto traffic, and hope everybody behind you or in front of you is kind of in a train and has to race alongside everybody instead of going full board.
As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark of the race, let me give a big shout out to SDK Gaming, one of our sponsors for this event. SDK Gaming is the premier solution for all your broadcasting, race strategy and streaming needs. Add virtual live HD to iRacing, show timing towers, and accelerating boxes, minimaps, calculators and more. Also the stuff you see, for example, right here. Oh man, oh.
That was a turn-in. Youngblood turned in mid-corner. Teleguard, big send-in there, and then under braking, Michael's car veered to the left and tapped, and we're going to get a replay of that right now. Martin had an amazing run, looks down to the inside, he got late on the brakes, and then, there's a little bit of a lockup turn by Michael right there. That tapped him in the back end, and Teleguard's day has just been tap here, tap there, bang here, a bang there, and he's not feeling very happy about that, but that one wasn't on him.
As I was saying, you can stream to Twitch with the most complete overlay on iRacing, broadcast your leagues and series. SDK Gaming syncs your commentary team's cameras, which is what we do here on Apex Racing TV. Focus drive and overlay with your broadcaster and adjust your team strategy on the fly with our most accurate live timing on iRacing. For more information, sdk-gaming.co.uk, and as always, tell them that Marco sent you.
Yeah, Marco, I believe you are the leading referral as Teleguard heads into the pits, and our second place Porsche, our LMP1 car, Lennart hops into the pit lane too, followed by Ryan Littlemore. Ooh, Littlemore
a bit of traffic,
into the pits. A little bit of traffic on pit entry, and I feel like Littlemore might just be like, almost got held up heading into the pits right there, but right on the gearbox as Balog off the track. This is heading into turn. Well, this will be, that'll be turn 1. This is turn 2. Oh, he got into the grass. Now that I look at that logo more, I think it is a Fox.
Hopefully we have one of the drivers there is a good chance we have one of those drivers in the booth, because given that there's like 6 or 7 of them,
yes.
So you would imagine one of them will get to the podium.
I'm slightly biased towards Fox because I have a Fox on my car too, so, and I just love Foxes. But I don't have the entire animal Fox outlined and colored in. I just have a Fox tail on my car.
Alexander Spets, will he peel into pit road? The answer is no.
Stays out a little bit more. Carlo.
He's staying out a little more, right?
He has gone into the pits. Yeah, it's halfway, and I expect him, diving into the pits.
You didn't get my terrible fit span. I'm very disappointed.
No, I'm not Sam.
I said Spets is going to stay out a little more.
Oh my gosh.
Here comes Balog in and Labati, as we were saying. So basically, we only have Spets left, but remember, Ollie Cole and Jan Korbs, they both stopped on lap 7, which is wildly out of sequence.
Why? Why would you make that pun?
Seriously, I'm being a professional. I'm still going on with the commentary. You are fixating on the pun.
It was so bad.
Of course, it was a fit span, so.
Ah. Now I get it.
So from now on, if we make a good pun, it's our own pun. But if it's a bad pun, it's a fit span. We can blame Sam.
That makes more sense. All right, we'll add that to the RTV vocabulary.
Look at that, Austin. We just had the first 3 cars in LMP2 Pro, just at the fastest lap of the race back to back. So these cars are really getting into life right now, and that is the reason why, of course, you don't want to change tires, because these tires, if you respect them, you can really make the car go very, very quick come the end of the of your stint, which is around half an hour for these cars. Give or take a few minutes depending on the racetrack, and still Alexander Spets is continuing on with a massive gap. Now of course it will shrink once he stops, but in my opinion that's still a very significant gap to have.
Yeah, you know, you lose about 47 seconds when you head into the pits. That's what Corbs lost. That was but Corbs, you know, he went into the pits on lap 7, remember that. Lennart lost about 54. You lose about 53 to 56 seconds throughout this long pit straight. But yeah, Corbs in second place by 54. He could pit right now and still stay in the lead. Just barely though. So he's going until that Audi engine runs dry. Let's are on board. Ticehurst gets into the grass just a little bit. He's trying to chase down Andrew Thompson. You know, Andrew, he was offering a service in the commentary box, but you know, I feel for him, so I hopped in.
Quality Control Racing, you remember them from the Enduro we had for the Swindon Carriers Association in the weekend?
Greatest name in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely agreed with that. Panetta with the fastest lap of the race again in LMP2 Pro, sitting in third place as our race leader is pitting this time. No, he's not.
No, he's not. You know, Sector 5, he set a purple sector right there. He's still going faster. That car is getting much lighter. And it just shows on how much Alexander really takes care of his car. It's not that aggressive. Well, he's aggressive on track with the time. That thing is blistering fast as our LP2 AM race leader Guyler heads into the pit lane as Roy Moss, second place, stays out.
Yeah, he'll take the provisional lead. Giuseppe Muia also in from the LMP2 Pro. A little bit of a up and down race for Giuseppe for 30 lap. Here he comes. Here comes Sorensen and Guyler with a stop of 24.5 seconds. Yeah, it's a decent stop. Sorry, as he's trying to get out of the pits.
Yeah, you don't have the crazy fast. You don't have the crazy fast fuel injection. The force fuel of the LP1 cars, where they, you know, use the Formula 1 styled fueling system that just shoots the fuel into the car.
You know, my favorite series for pit stops is the Creventic series, because you basically have to, when you pit, you have to go to the fuel pump, just like you are normally driving, as Magani goes in. And when I went to the 12 hours of Mugello a couple of times, they were all pitting the top 3 in the class. My favorite place to be all around the racetrack was at the fuel pumps and see, you know, basically it was like, oh, okay, no, I want 50 euros of fuel, if possible, you know. And it was amazing. And in clear, realistic, you know, Italian petrol station feel, sometimes there was a queue. So.
The Creventic series is always fun to watch.
Well, let's
and
see.
That situation is always, I could say, chaotic.
Everyone is in LMP2 Pro from the lead of the race, so let's see who can get out faster. My guess is going to be Mariani, but we'll see. Here comes Michael. Owen Carroll, of course, following suit, and we should see Panetta jump out of his pit stall, so is Castellani.
Panetta was sideways in his pit stall. You notice that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as long as they service your car.
Yeah, but
I'm not
you know,
complaining.
off the exit of the of pit lane, that would actually help them because, you know, they aren't turning left to get out of the box. So they just had a straight shot. I know in the AI cars, you know, there's a magic number in the pit box that where your driver actually does that, and you know, it gets a big jump on everybody else. But you know, I don't think it's actually proven that that's faster or not, but hey, you tried.
Welcome to iRacing Conspiracy Theories, brought to you by Austin Knight.
Oh, there's plenty of them. Conspiracy theory number 372. If you flash your lights on a straight with no one around you, go faster.
Oh man, I believe in that one.
But if somebody is around you, you go slower.
Lennart stopped on lap 17, together with a big group of LMP1 cars.
Orart's going to try to hold this around the outside. You know, he's got Corbs ahead of him. And Corbs has gone to the pits after his lap 7 pit stop right there. So Rart being actually held up right here behind Corbs heading into Canada corner. And Rart needs to have a good lap to get in, to get the jump on Spets. But, you know, once again, unable to get past. There's our LMP2 AM leader heading into the pits, Rory Maas.
By the way, Austin, let me send a massive shout out to Ismail Yakubu, who was on the podium last week with us in Monza, but during the interviews he told us he suffered a real life injury, had to go under the knife as they speak, and so he's out for the remainder of the season. He raced actually injured last week and was able to grab the podium, so we wait him in season 4 with open arms, because he was absolutely one of the contenders for the championship, teammate to all these very fast Spets, Corbs, Rart and company here at the front of the field. So we wish you the best, Ismail, and we hope to have you in season 4.
Yeah, Spets heading into the pits as Corpse, you know, is going to be gaining time on Spets now. But let's look at Corpse car. Can I look at Corpse car? Maybe on board of you know, that Porsche, the 71. Look at the back of it. He got into him. He's now got damage at the back of that car. I think Lennart and Corpse might have had a nose-to-tail incident with each other. And, you know, here comes Rart trying to hold it around the outside right there. They got an LP2 off the exit, though, and he's going to have to, you know, surrender that attack and hold up more time between them. But, yeah, I think Rart might have had a good run. Maybe, you know, just got into the back of him. He's now losing more time to Corpse. And, you know, Spets getting in and out of the pit stop. 51 seconds have gone and by. And, you know, that gap didn't really shrink that much. So there's Rart still ahead of Corpse. Is out Spets. Done his stops. And now, you know, Rart, you see him flash into his lights on the straight. He's not happy at all. He knows he's damaged as well. And, you know, those Audi lights are a lot more noticeable than the Porsche lights.
Okay, pit stops roundup
No,
while we are
Porsche
here.
lights are more noticeable than the Audi lights.
As you can see, Austin, everyone has stopped at least once, of course.
Fight for P2 in the LPs. That I don't want to go away from that fight.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to show the entire field. And there we go with
Finally
Rart.
gets past him.
And as I was saying, everyone has stopped at least once, Austin, but as we were saying earlier, there are some drivers who are out of sequence, so to speak.
Yes.
So I would imagine
one of them.
Yeah, I would imagine Curbs and Cole, they have to pit again, unless they are running a massive fuel save.
I don't believe they are. They're just getting lucky with traffic. You see Rart. You know, I feel like Rart's getting a little bit hot under the knife right now. You know, he's been held up by Corpse that entire time. LP2 traffic. You know, when you're fighting another car and, you know, you got LP2 and you're trying to pass another car who's clearly damaged, it gets you boiled up and you start getting very aggressive. And when you see traffic, you're just like, get out of my way. You don't know my race.
Carlo Labate has closed in on this fight.
Yeah, Jan ahead of him now, and you know, you can see that damage clearly right there. And you know, Corpse needs to head into the pits very soon. Spets went 23 laps until he needed to go into the pits. So for Corpse, I believe within 5 laps he has to, you know, he's got about 4 more laps until he runs out of fuel.
Another big shout out, Austin, if we can, to VRS, the Virtual Racing School. Improve your on-track performance with 50+ data packs. Road and Oval Racing. Of course, you get setups, track guides, data analysis software, and one-on-one coaching. virtualracingschool.com for more information, and that works perfectly in conjunction with Apex Racing Academy, which of course you can have on its own. But if you want the best of both worlds, you really need Virtual Racing School plus the Apex Racing Academy, where you have 21 data packs, setups, track guides, the full integration with the VRS system, weekly group coaching session, and more. And two of the coaches of Apex Racing Academy have very recently, aka last week, been nominated as world champions in their respective fields in racing. By the way, also let me use this moment to wish the happiest of birthdays to Apex Racing Team's very own Michele Costantini. Tanti auguri, Michele.
Happy birthday, Michele. And, ooh, late dive, Lyle Lati, down to the inside. And, you know, he's got alongside him, he's got the outside line now, and he's going to try to chop the nose right there, and he's done it.
And here comes Littlemore.
Yeah, Littlemore is back here too, and Corpse has to, doesn't go into the pits, but he gets onto that boost immediately. He wants that position back. And Ryan Littlemore, I think he knows what's about to happen. Ooh, did they just touch right there?
There was a bit of a twitch from Labate. I saw clearly on my screen as well, Austin. That was quite weird.
I think they might have touched. If we go on board of Corpse, yeah, they did touch. Look at the back right side of Labate's car. There's a little bit of a dent right there. He does have rear damage. You know, would have shown as a 0x, but Jan Corpse definitely not happy about that.
Quick rundown of the other classes as they are settling, as just like last week. LMP2 has settled down, and LMP1 is the one with the fireworks, while last 2 weeks ago at the first run we had LMP1 settled, and LMP2 Pro and Am with the fireworks towards the end. So very quickly the top 5 roundup. Michael Mariani leads the way over Owen Carroll and Francesco Panetta. There he is. Lorenzo Castellani is in 4th and Giuseppe Muia in 5th. And concerning the LMP2 Am, we'll tell you later. We're seeing
Guyler in
crazy defending.
Crazy defending is just absolutely nuts right there. Onboard Corpse, who is frantically trying to get his spot back up before he has to go into the pits. Here's our LP1 leader of Alex Betts as we got a race replay of our race leader. A little bit of an issue.
A bit of a moment.
Oh, whoa, whoa! Oh.
And of course,
always scared when the LP2 car moves offline.
Of course, as we were watching that, Corpse jumped Labate, because that's the rule number 1 of broadcasting.
Everything happens when we go into replay, and you know, Corpse have been very aggressive. You see Littlemore just flash his lights like, you two keep fighting.
Very quickly, LMP2 Am, Jack Guyler leads the way. He's got a massive advantage of 23 seconds over Roy Mass. Thomas Sorensen, despite everything, is still in 3rd, in front of Michael Youngblood, and the quality control racing entry of Andy Ticehurst. So this is your top 5s in LMP2 Pro and Am. And now let's go back to this fight for the podium in LMP1, because this can get tasty. Of course, Corpse has that sword.
They're both damaged now.
On his head that he may have to pit again.
Yeah, Corpse, who went in on lap 7, you know, he had that crash, and now he's got that damage at the rear. Here is Labate trying to hold around the outside, heading into Canada corner, swings it around wide, and Corpse with that tight line, able to stay ahead. Littlemore's back there. He's at the back of this train. He could do something, or he's just going to watch, and I feel like he's going to do the Porsche thing and just sit back and watch, let these two you know, have a little bit of fight, and if they get into an incident, they might, you know, he might walk away 3rd right here. And I think he does know that Corpse still has to go into the pit lane, but Corpse, you know, last lap, Sector 1 was purple for him last time by. And this time by, I feel like, yeah, he slowed down 900ths of a second right there. So he's blistering fast through turn 1, but just look, he's got damage on the rear end of that car, but he's really active on the boost. Littlemore looks onto the inside, gets a little beside him, but they got an LP2 car right ahead. Littlemore's got to back off right here in case, you know, he wants to avoid fireworks. That LP2 car saw what was happening, went wide as Littlemore, you know, was saying a prayer as well. As they didn't lose that much time right there, but that could have been a nasty multi-car crash.
He went along the lines of, screw you guys, I'm going home, right?
Absolutely. We're not in South Park, Colorado, but I'm pretty sure that LP2 car said, nope. I ain't dealing with that. Here's Littlemore trying to hold around the outside of carousel. Littlemore's actually done it, and Corbs goes out to the inside to block off Labate. Littlemore's got 2 cars in 1 corner round the outside of the carousel. Knocked that one up there as a amazing
Labate won't be happy. I know him very well, Austin. He won't be happy, oh man.
Oh, Carlo was all over the back end, and you know, Jan Corbs down the inside trying to catch up to Littlemore right there, but can we go back on that Littlemore overtake around the outside of the carousel? That was beautiful.
We can, but first I want to see Labate's answer because he is fuming if I know him right now.
Oh yeah, he's been stuck so many times behind Jan Corbs. He's like, what do I have to do to get past this guy at this moment? And you know, Corbs still has to go into the pit lane. I think he's 1 lap. This might be the lap where he has to go into the pits. That's good. You know, if he keeps Labate behind him, that's going to make Labate mad even more. And we're 10 minutes away from the finish, too.
This race went past quickly, Austin.
Yeah, the LP1 drama. Seems like 2 gladiators in the arena. Here we go. Big Senderudi down to the inside. Labate, and he forces Corbs into the grass. Giving a little bit of a hip check right there. You know, there was no contact between the two. But, oh, man, that certainly felt like he reached out and gave him a little bit of a slap. LP2 car ahead of Labate. Labate goes down to the inside. Corbs sends it up onto the inside. And, oh, Corbs makes contact with the car behind. And Corbs. And that is poor Ricardo Garoli getting involved right there. And I think Corbs is definitely all to blame right there. He's definitely going to be aiming at someone else. Though, but Corbs was definitely seeing only red, nothing else. All shades of red. You know, he's positioned his car down to the inside, and he wasn't even on the line. Locked up the brakes, I believe, too, and you know, gone to the back. And Labate is just probably shaking his head right now, and might have typed karma in the chat.
In the meantime, Alexander Spezzo eating his ice cream at the front, or yes, we are at Road America, eating his sausage.
Yeah, bratwurst.
Sandwich, bratwurst, yes. There we go.
Yeah, you know, or a barbecue sandwich.
Oh!
You know, oof, Littlemore. Oh, no, Littlemore, after making that fantastic double overtake, makes that mistake, and he's fallen back behind Labate. What has happened into turn 1? You know, he's got an LP2 car ahead of him. Does he go onto the inside right here, heading into turn 1, and just overcooks it? No, doesn't get... Oh, no, Littlemore. I feel like he was going to... he was using the LP2 braking marker instead of his own braking marker, and, you know, it's kind of caught off right there.
Here comes Cole. Guide stopped together with Corbs. So I would expect Ian to come in at the end of this lap at this point.
Yeah, and after, you know, he's sitting at 4th now after passing Littlemore. But, you know, that contact with that LP2 car, I feel like would have just destroyed all the fight with him, and he should have gone to the pits right there. You know, he does have that damage in the back of his car. So he's kind of slow on his own compared to everybody else. It's pretty minor damage, to be honest. But it does make his car a little bit more draggy. And, you know, 8 minutes remain in this race, and Michael Mariani, you know, almost 3 seconds clear of Carroll in the P2 Pro category, in the P2 AM category. Guyler, you know, he's probably gave Spets a little bit of recommendation on that barbecue sandwich right there.
Just the 8 minutes left in this race. Pit stop for Ian Korb, so let's see where he heads out. Should be a quick splash and dash.
Don't speed into the pit lane. He's going to come out of 5th place. Littlemore is... where's Littlemore at? There he is. Power corner right there. You know, you lose about 50 seconds.
Oh, he's pitting.
And,
Maybe because of the damage.
Yeah, I probably got damage. You know, there's a big hit. Ooh, tricky, pit
is he still in bent?
I think it is. I think Littlemore's steering is damaged, and you know that's going to give Cole. Cole's pretty far back from Corbs and Littlemore, but Corbs stays in 4th place, and Littlemore, I can't tell if that steering's bent or not. But
certainly no reason to stop this late in the race, especially when you are good on fuel. So
you might have damage. You might have damage from that incident. Here's Ollie Cole jumping up into 5th place. Probably wondering what's happened a little more, but you know, Littlemore did go for an adventure and did smack the ball pretty hard. As Alex Betts puts him a lap down. He's actually almost about to lap Cole ahead of him.
Yeah, and Littlemore either already used his fast repair or he unchecked it by accident, because he's been sitting in the pits for more than 30 seconds, and now Niklas Schneider could potentially go past him for 6th place overall. So let's keep an eye on that. We have some battles in the LMP2 field, even though they are not battles. Oh, this is a battle for position in the Pro class. Lorenzo Zoffoli for Leo Racing Team and James Parker. Also, we have Julius Brown and Daniel Zivisapo going hard at it. Oof. Trading paints.
Literally trading paint right there. Zivisapo trading paint, trading sandcastles as well, getting out into the gravel right there. But Zivisapo able to stay in 10th place or get the overtake right there. As this is James Parker trying to defend from Lorenzo Defoli. Julius Brown and Zivisapo round 2 this time down the front straight. Braun's got the outside line heading into turn 1. He's got the speed. Zivisapo's right there, but Braun showing his prowess around the outside. Daniel showing the inside line, trying to make him drive it in his mirrors. Daniel gets into the grass. A little bit too wide. Gets back onto the track and he falls down to 12th place. Oh,
that was wild.
That is the worst moment to do that too. 5 minutes to go, Zoffoli swings it through the inside line, but now he's got Parker on his outside line. Parker is car link behind Zoffoli. And it's all kicking off in the LP2 field right now. 5 minutes to go. This is real chaotic hours here.
And every excuse is a good excuse to say quality control racing. And Andy Tysar stays battling with Omar Robledo of LMP2 Pro fame.
Yeah, this has been a quality performance by Andy Tysers. You know, up 11 spots overall to get up into the top 5 of the AMS race, where you know your race leader is class leader is sitting up there in 15th overall in this 37 car field too. You know. And they're all prototypes too, and it's always cool because you never see a lot of these prototype cars all together, but outside the prototype challenge. As Alex Betts almost gets a little bit crazy right there. And actually, the prototype challenge doesn't even get this big too. And you know, those are all LP2 cars.
So we should have 2 more laps after this one, Austin, right?
Yes. 1 minute 41 seconds. You know, that was his last time. He's still 2 seconds faster than anyone else in the LP1. Simon Kalleratz is the other car that is the second fastest. He did the 142. But everybody else, 143, 143, 143, 143. And Littlemore did a 2 minutes 46. Littlemore is back out on track now behind Ollie Cole. As Alex Colorats is chasing down Nicholas Schneider ahead of him.
This could be a fight for position for 7th overall in class. For 7th overall and in class. Apologies.
Well, 7 overall is the class because this is the LP1 car, and I don't believe we've had any LP1. Nope, we did have 3 LP1s retired from this race. Balog, Pizzo, and Armstrong have retired from this race, so it is in class and overall.
Let's see what happened to Daniele Pizzo, by the way, because we only saw him on his lead, you know?
Well, it was on lap 5 where he retired.
Yeah, but he crashed on lap 1, if I'm not mistaken, so I don't know if you will see able to see this replay, Austin, but here we go.
This was heading into turn 3, I believe.
Yes, and let's see, did he get... Oh, there was a double collision behind him, and then he was hit, so he was the 3rd car in line of a chain reaction. And then, so unlucky, he hit one of those 2 little tire walls, tire stacks, at the end of the runoff area and went over. Incredible. As Cowlards gets past Schneider, so he gets 7th. So unlucky.
Yeah, that does sound like that is the most unlucky.
Oh, problem!
Right
big problem for Owen Carroll. He was 2nd in class, now he's in 3rd. Let's see what happened. Oh, man!
Oh, it just got a wheel onto the outside right there. And that is unfortunate. And do you have any Scottish drivers in this race?
I mean, there's few British drivers, we don't know if they are Scottish, but what we know is that Italian 1-2 punch in LMP2 Pro, and you know...
Well, the reason why I say that, roughly a few minutes ago, it was confirmed by iRacing that Knock Hill Racing Circuit is coming to iRacing, and you know they just sent out a nice teaser photo from the garages. So you know some of these British drivers, that's a look by Castellani. Oh man, Lorenzo took a big look right there. That's a little bit risky.
There's a lap car in front of him, and Caril, of course, is dropping position, but now a mistake. What happened to him?
He just went wide.
And but this car basically stopped on a dime, like it was very weird. So Castellani went past Caril, who's having big trouble with his car. I feel
like he tapped the brakes once he felt like he was going wide, and you know that corner is already slow enough as it is, and so he just tapped the brakes, and then you know the car just stopped right there because you know the car always does the opposite of what you exactly want it. White flag has been out, and now the checker flag is being waved by Barney for the 69 Protocharged Sinsports Rue Canaro Gold. Alex Spetz takes the win here at Road America. Fantastic race. New fastest lap was set by right behind as Michael Mariani takes the checkered as well, and he's joined by the 261 flashing their lights as well as you know we're waiting for our 3rd race winner. As this is Lorenzo Castellani. You know, he finally got 3rd place after being overtaken by Carroll. You know, he got that position back. Where's Jack Guyler? There's Jack. It's not a 1-2. You know, it's a 1-2-3 in the for Italy in the Pro LMP2 class. It's not a 1-2-3 on the podium for race winners. As Jack Guyler takes. You know, he's gonna really enjoy this one. You see me? Always love the excitement wiggles. Jack Guyler, 272, Drive Dan Academy, drives it to the race win in the P2 AMS. As there's Andy Thompson. You know, always got to give a shout out to Andy. Andy's got some fans in chat, got some fans in here. And, you know, he drove pretty well today. He's going to be coming home with a 6th place, not the top 5 that he wants, but he's going to come home in 6th, and he's going to take the checker flag here.
There is Alexander Spetz. So, yes, Spetz, Lennart, and Carlo Labati. So, Labati, I think he's the first Well, I didn't see what happened.
There's a 261 car. Andy Tyser's got up to the back of Spetz and was doing some excitement wiggles. I think it was giving him a salute or something. the flash got into the grass.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
It's on the cooldown lap.
So Austin, as I was saying, I think we have our first ever non-Rukanor guy on the podium with Carlo Labatti. Therefore, please take it away with the LMP1 results.
Yeah, LMP1, your results as Spets parks it at the line and
no.
burns it down here at Road America.
Okay, here we go. That was the championship standings. Sorry, there we go. Alexander Spets.
I'm so glad I didn't read that. It's Spets. He burns it down, takes the win, followed by Reinhardt behind him, and Carlo Labatti takes third and breaks that Rukarnor team celebration on the podiums as Corbs finishes fourth, Ollie Cole in fifth, Ryan Littlemore finishes as sixth, followed by Simon Coloarts, Nicholas Schneider, Balog in ninth, and Daniele Pizzo in 10th, and James Armstrong, and I believe Pizzo and Armstrong were the ones involved in that massive crash at the start of the race, and that is our 11 car results for our LMP1s. And I believe we got the pros.
Yeah, bear with us because the LMP2s are scored together, so we'll go back to the overall standings. There we go, and we will see that Michael Mariani, 9th overall, is the winner in front of Francesco Panetta and Lorenzo Castellani. It's a very nice looking podium in LMP2 Pro. Owen Carroll, unlucky, very unlucky with that mistake, loses the podium, loses second position. He finishes in front of Giuseppe Muglia and Temu Milikanga with a massive following in chat. I think it was Temu time in the end today. Good position for him. Lorenzo Zoffoli in 15th overall. And then the winner of the LMP2 AM class, Jack Guyler, James Parker for the pros, and then Roy Maas behind him, second in the P2 AM standings. And third was Thomas Sorensen, who rounds up the podium for CTS Racing. Then it's Michael Youngblood. A plethora of pros, Pettenella, Brown, Geroli, Sivisabo, and Rovledo. Andy Tysarst for the AMS, Marian Hensel, then Andy Thompson, another amateur driver. And then it was Lille Jordet, Kofed, Iaconetti, Tyle Gord, Sasha Lowe, and Hans Blackworth. And Austin, I think we are standing. You are standing, I'm told. You can confirm this or not. I mean, we shouldn't talk to him because he's in the wrong interview waiting area, but I'm feeling good tonight, so I'm feeling kind. So with Austin Knight, we have Alexander Spets.
Alexander, we're in America. You're burning it down on the front straight. How are you feeling after that?
It feels really good. After months, obviously, where I had a 4-second stop and go, it feels good to recover and take a win. Yeah, the race was really good. Not really any mistakes or close calls. Just trying to shoot.
Yeah, it certainly is a much better feeling taking the win after Monza with that penalty. But hey, Road America, what was so fun about racing here? At the start, you started down in third place, and then you just have all the right cards in play, and you had the right pit stop strategy in play. You went in about like 5 laps later than everybody else.
Yeah, everybody else was thinking like I probably did the first round, pitting before and trying to not get any LMP2 traffic for some laps so you can gain some time. But I figured out while driving that maybe like it felt like we had the LMP2 traffic more like every lap basically. So I thought pitting early wouldn't help anything because when I came out, I probably could risk coming out with a lot of other LMP2s.
Yeah, we were talking about traffic being a major talking point here, with the track only being the same amount of width and only about 2.5 cars wide the entire time. So traffic play was always on the alert box, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, and also I had quite an advantage to the Porsche cars in traffic because they are running high downforce. Meanwhile, most likely all the Audis are running low downforce, so it's easier for us Audis here to pass on the straights, which makes it safer and we don't have to take the same much risks. So I think most of the time that the Porsche guys lost was in traffic.
Absolutely, and you know, congrats on the race victory. Before we let you go, before we let you go, I have a question about your car. On your car, there's an animal on the side of it. Is that a fox or a kangaroo? We were having this debate.
That's a fox.
I was right. Love the fox. Okay, before I let you go now, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I would like to thank all my sponsors and Protosarch Simsport for the continuous support.
All right, congratulations, Alexander. You have yourself a good night, and you know, we'll see you next week.
See you.
Austin, a shocking lack of interviews tonight, but we can absolutely look forward to next week. Now, I hope you're in for the long run, because we are heading to Sebring.
Yeah, Sebring, another leg, another part of the American leg of the Wave Italy Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. Sebring, it's going to be a lot of fun, you know, and a lot of prototypes love racing there. It's a sports car haven. It's a little bit bumpy, so we're going to be seeing the setups really get in tune there. But yeah, like they were saying, the Porsche is going to be struggling. They're going to be at more of an advantage right there. But, you know, speaking of Porsches, Marco, I believe you're standing by with our second place finisher. And he might have some insight on Sebring.
Yeah, Lennart Hart is in the booth with us. Welcome to the booth, Lennart. How's it going?
Yeah, good evening. That was one hell of a race. Probably didn't look like it from your point of view, but that was probably the toughest traffic we have seen so far.
Yes, that was going to be my next question, because we've been to Monza, we've been to the Glen. These things seems like it's a bit of a bigger track, but in reality, you know, it seemed like it was traffic all the way, and with such little margin for error, you know. It was a hard day of work out there.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I didn't expect to be anywhere close with the Porsche, so it was quite a surprise that we were able to follow Alex. But as we hit traffic, he just hit the traffic in a lot better spot than I did. And he pulled, I think, on the first traffic lap 5 seconds, because I just couldn't go anywhere. And on this track, we are very even on top speed with the LMP2s, actually. So we can only pass on boost, because under braking, we can't do it. We need to brake early for our energy. Yeah, it was really difficult, a bit of frustration, but I think P2 is the maximum we could have done today.
So you were talking about the duality of Porsche and Audi. What can we expect in terms of the LMP1 performance difference in Sebring next week?
I think Sebring is one of the tracks that suits the Porsche the most. But with Alex in the car, he's just mega quick. Our entire PCS Audi squad is making such huge leaps with Audi setup, and that just catapults them to the front. So Sebring always has been a Porsche track. Let's see if our Audi guys can mix that up a bit. I think they have the pace to bring the fight to the Porsche, even though that's a bit sad for me in the Porsche, because it was the only track where we actually had an advantage. But yeah, that's how it is.
Well, Lennart, congratulations again for second place. Great result. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
The whole Protocharge Simsport team, our sponsors Abruzzi and Vulcano, for supporting us in this series. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much, Lennart. Congratulations, and we'll hopefully hear from you next week.
I hope so too. Have a nice evening. Bye.
And that was Lennart Hart, and sadly that's all we have time for tonight, Austin. Thank you for jumping in and staying with us for the rest of the season. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love my prototypes, and you know, I love some good old racing on a Friday afternoon. So thank you everybody for joining us here for the Wave Italy Apex Racing League Prototype Championships here for Road America. I've been joined by Marco Bobinera, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.